Yo ho, what's going on, guys? Good afternoon. What's happening? Bitcoin sitting at 88K. All right. Let's get into it. What's going on, guys? Good afternoon. Feeling jack stacked and fanny packed. Let's get into it. Let's see what's going on in the crypto market today. A lot of things popping, little things stopping. Let's dive in. What do we have? We got 0 super chats to start the stream, so let's get into the chat. H. Barberini in the house. What's going on, man? Paul, good to see you, brother. Good to see you, my guy. Kind of a slow day today. So, Rob, are we still in this bull cycle, or next year we enter the next 4-year cycle? No, your timing is off. The 4-year cycle would start after Bitcoin topped, right? So that would have been back in December, whenever Bitcoin topped. Back in that cycle would have started back in October, not now, right? You're already close to halfway, give or take, halfway through the first year of the cycle. Guys, make sure you hit the like and subscribe on the way in. It's absolutely free to do, believe it or not. It is free. We have 40 people watching. Holy smokes, how many likes do we have? 21. Not bad ratio, not a bad ratio. Man, when they say that the views are down and people are leaving the space, they are not kidding. Hey, man, I'm a big fan. Can you give me a shout out? Nixie. Shout out to Nixie. What's going on, man? Good to see you. Good to see you. Quentin's in the house. I got your DM, Quentin. I will respond to it. Kiz, what's good, my guy? Zebek to $1 someday in the future. Absolutely, man. I agree. And I'm not letting go until it happens, brother. Salute, Rob and chat. Carl, what's going on, my guy? Bruno's in the heezy. What's happening? Angelo says, raise your hand if you got no money to add to this market. Well, Angelo, what you do have is you have time to accumulate more money, right? Use your time wisely. What do we got? What's up, Rob? Hope you are well, my friend. I love seeing all these buying opportunities. I agree. Chicken dinner, winner, winner. Absolutely. Nice fit. Yes, BTCC, baby, channel sponsor. They sent me a cap, so I figured, hey, absolutely. What do we got? Carl says, smash the like button. Absolutely. Crypto J505. What's happening, man? We got Gengar in the house. Hope everyone has a happy new year. Yes, absolutely, guys. Thanks, man. No worries. Hey, man. Wow. Now we have 3.5 more years to DCA. Not necessarily, no, right? You'd be surprised how fast. That would mean that the market would have to be down at a bottom for 3.5 years and then having a 6-month pump. That doesn't make any sense. It's going to slowly work its way up, but we haven't bottomed yet, though. Big Kev dropping that cheddar. He says, good afternoon. Thanks for all your time and energy. I am ready for whatever's coming. Let's go. Big Kev in the house. Absolutely, brother. I agree, my friend. Ditto, second Pokemon of the day. Hope you're doing well, sir. I got it, man. I got this. I'm blowing 7 different kinds of smoke today, brother. All right, we're caught up in the chat. Let's get into the news, shall we? The future is a go says, hey, Rob, what's up? Blessings to you and your family. I'm having trouble seeing the chat on the Patreon. This is JC. I have been paid member for years. Sometimes it glitches. Usually you just have to contact support. Sometimes you have to uninstall the app and then reinstall it. I don't know what's going on with that, but you should be fine. Message me over there and I'll see what I can do for you. Do you think Miria can get back to a penny? Oh, of course. 100% I do. Lion's Den, not for a little while, though. Not for a little while. Lion's Den, my guy. I always visit my local tire shop on New Year's. Then I know it will be a good year. I see what you did there, brother. Angelo says, anyone feel that your wife is mad at you saying, I told you so? You lost all your crypto. No, I didn't. Market is stuck. Yeah, I mean, you know what? That's the thing, guys. I talked about that before. You know, a lot of times investing in stuff like crypto can be strenuous on a relationship. But at the end of the day, guys, you know, like with my wife, for example, it was often apprehensive, you know, cautious approach. And then after we successfully gone through our first cycle, well, guess what happened? Then there was no more questions, right? Because once you do eventually and inevitably see the profits, the questions stop, right? Gamma Goddess says, good afternoon, Rob and Crypto Fam. There she is, the one and only Gamma Goddess. I'm hanging in there. Just want to say, hold on and don't give up on to those that are having a hard time right now in life and or crypto. I agree. Octavius in the house, our newest character on the Pico LFG show. It was great meeting up with Gary and Pico last night. Looking forward to what's coming next. Yes, he was actually in our episode yesterday. So make sure you guys go over to Not Financially Advised. Check it out, guys. Check out Octavius Coin, Pico Coin, LFG Coin, and much, much more. All right, let's dive into the news, guys. Bitcoin, like I said, I'm expecting that leg up here to the top of this range, close to $100 to $101,000 before rejecting, putting in that right shoulder and working our way down to Pound Town. Rob, if most stocks get tokenized and tradable 24/7, could we then see a boom in total market cap of crypto? Yes, it's entirely possible. And interestingly enough, Ditto, over in our VIP community, we are leaning heavy into tokenized assets in 2026. What will we be buying? What stocks? What cryptos? What other assets? You're going to have to be part of the community, man. The link is most certainly in the chat. I'll put it in the chat again right now for you guys, because you're going to want to be over there, guys. We are covering a lot. We are covering crypto, stocks, tokenized assets, precious metals. We are going big. JJ Big Dog, yes, I have lots of thoughts on Swift. You know damn well I'm bullish on Swift, but you ask about it every single day, and my thoughts have not changed from yesterday or the day before, the day before, the day before. Hang in there, Gamma. You are a strong person. Yes, we love Gamma. Absolutely. Anyone know how to file tax on Decent Wallet? You can actually connect something like Taxonomy to your any wallet, DeFi wallet or hardware wallet, and it will print off. You should be able to print off a tax statement from there. I'm the trading tier over there. Nice. There you go, brother. There you go. I was speaking in generalities, really, though. Dale says, I just passed my 1-year anniversary as a Patreon member, quietly lurking in the background and absorbing the alpha. I'm here for the long haul. Thanks for keeping me steady through the ups and downs. Hey, I got the fries that'll cross your eyes, brother. Absolutely. Even the people who are quiet are learning. I'm glad you're gaining something from it, my friend. If you need anything, you know where I'm at, my friend. I'm a Swiftcoin Max. Hey, nothing wrong with that, man. Nothing wrong with that. Axe. John, blessings, my friend. What's going on? Rob, should I DCA now with these prices on Swiftcoin? Well, I cannot give you financial advice, but what I would say is that, if you're in the red on Swiftcoin, then it might not be a bad time to lower your cost average. However, I do caution that altcoins inevitably over the next probably sometime in the next 6 months are going to see another leg down. So there you go, right? So there you go. Ramona's in the house. We haven't seen Ramona on one of the live streams in a while. She's so busy. It's great to see our own crypto mom. Shout out to Gamma. Absolutely. Pico's in the house. It's good to have Glocktavius to help me keep an eye on Gary. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Gary always up to no good. Wheeling and dealing. Let's get into the news, guys. What's going on in the crypto space? We'll get into an article first. What do we have? Okay, so crypto. Why experts anticipate a historic bull run in 2026. Let's talk about it. In 2026, cryptos could experience an unprecedented boom between record public debt, depreciation of the fiat currency, and finally, clarified regulations. The conditions are set for a historic crypto bull run. Grayscale, the leader in investment, anticipates massive institutional adoption. It's kind of funny that Grayscale, being one of the companies that dumps constantly on the market. In 2025, global public debt reached unprecedented heights. Indeed, in the United States, it hit $38 trillion, or 120% of the GDP. While the European countries like France and Italy approach 110%, the dollar, a pillar of the financial system, has lost 9% of its purchasing power since 2020. With persistent inflation between 3% and 5%, fears of devaluation intensify. If you had $1 million in your savings account over the last since 2020, you will have lost 9% of your $1 million purchasing power over the last 5 years, right? So think about that. Continuing on, Grayscale highlights that these macroeconomic risks and imbalances accelerate demand for limited supply assets like Bitcoin, perceived as digital gold. Furthermore, 70% of the fund managers plan to integrate crypto into their portfolios by 2026, compared to 40% in 2023. That is a 2x plus, or not even at this, just under a 2x, sorry, from 40% to 70% in just 3 years. That is big news, guys. Crypto regulations in the United States should finally become clearer in 2026. As a result, Grayscale anticipates the adoption of a structuring law for the markets, defining the framework for ETFs, stablecoins, and custody of digital assets. We know that they're trying to manipulate stablecoins into becoming more like CBDCs. They're just calling them stablecoins instead. At the end of the day, someone will still be able to turn your money off. So there you go. Kizza says, wouldn't it be funny if Bitcoin got to that 100K range and absolutely ripped to all-time high? That would be, yeah, I would take it. I would take it. I would gladly be wrong in that instance. So your first cryptos with Coinbase, additionally, institutional adoption is accelerating. Assets under management of crypto products have tripled between 2023 and 2025. That's just 2 years, rising from $50 to $150 billion. Sovereign funds and family offices could also allocate 1 to 5% of their portfolios to crypto by 2026. According to Grayscale, a dynamic placing cryptos at the heart of global investment strategies. And you are front-running it, guys. You are front-running the next 10 years of innovation. Keep that in mind. Will Bitcoin ever reach 1 million? Yes, in my personal humble opinion. That's why I continue to buy Bitcoin and I never sell it. Absolutely. Bitcoin, with its supply limited to 21 million units, emphasizes the ultimate anti-inflation asset. In 2026, the mining of the 20 millionth Bitcoin expected in March, and then there'll only be 1 million left to mine, should enhance the scarcity and attractiveness. Grayscale compares it to the digital gold 2.0, increasing adoption as a store of value by states and companies. Price forecasts for 2026 vary. In a baseline scenario, Bitcoin could fluctuate between $100,000 and $140,000. Guys, my personal opinion, I think that in 2026, Bitcoin will see both set at least $70,000 and we'll see above $100,000 once again, all in the same year, in my opinion. A bullish scenario sees it surpassing $200,000 if ETFs capture 10% of flows traditionally allocated to gold. Other cryptos could also shine. Ethereum, with its deflationary model, and I would also like to add, when it comes to Ethereum, that the tokenization of real-world assets is going to really come into full effect in 2026, probably about halfway through the year, and a lot of that is going to be built on none other than Ethereum. Keep that in mind, my friends. Keep that in mind. The 2026 crypto bull run promises to be a turning point for cryptocurrencies driven by macroeconomic and regulatory factors. Bitcoin and digital assets could redefine global portfolios, but this revolution raises questions. Will states be able to regulate this growth without stifling it? I guess we will find out, my friends. I guess we will find out. Okay, moving on. What else do we have going on? IP platform took a little bit of a hit. They lost millions in an end-of-year hack. Another platform has been hacked, my friends. Just like Flow was hacked. Now we've got IP. Hackers are going full-fledged. This is why you need to get yourself a decent biometric wallet. Use our link down below. Get a great deal as a channel sponsor, guys. 2-for-1 deal. Check it out. Unleash Protocol, an intellectual property or IP platform built on Story Protocol, reports detecting unauthorized activity involving its smart contracts on December 30th, which is today. The security exploit led to the withdrawal and transfer of funds worth millions of dollars from the protocol. Another hack, the exploit unleashed the protocol WIP, USDC, wrapped ETH, STIP, and VIP. So, guys, got to be careful, right? This is why it's not a good idea to keep your crypto on exchanges. Self-custody is the way to go. Lord of the Realm in the house. What's going on, man? The future is a go. Dropping that cheddar says, Rob, we are in a bull market, a bear market, or an extended drawdown bull market. Why were so much analysts for crypto so wrong this year? Well, there was a lot of factors that come into play, and I am working on a video breaking down, recapping 2025 and all the things that were detrimental to the crypto space that played a factor, right? Things like the jobs numbers in the early part of the year being inaccurate, needing to be reevaluated, and they were inaccurate by over 2 million jobs at the end of the day. That in itself would have caused the Fed to start cutting rates probably 5 months sooner than they did, right? Early 2025 as opposed to late 2025. That in itself is just one of many factors that affected the crypto markets, and everyone fled to precious metals as well. So will Swiftcoin ever reach $1? The potential is there. The potential is there. It's got phenomenal tokenomics. The tokenomics are 10 billion max supply, 100% in circulation. The potential is definitely there. Bitcoin taught Wall Street giants a lesson they will not forget. They were all wrong. Check it out. 2025 is ending with significant debate in both the financial and cryptocurrency worlds. Bitcoin, contrary to optimistic price predictions at the beginning of the year, underwent a major correction, and 2025 looks to set to be remembered as a year that highlighted the uncertainty surrounding price predictions. While some predictions for 2025 reached up to $1 million, the predictions of major players proved disappointing. According to predictions compiled by CoinDesk, most of the most optimistic forecasts for the year-end Bitcoin price turned out to be wrong. Despite optimistic predictions, Bitcoin ended the year well below its peak, experiencing its first full year loss since 2022. Yes. But people haters on the channel would tell you that I was the only one that was wrong about crypto prices. In fact, optimism prevailed in the market for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies at the beginning of 2025. However, the downward trend that began with a major crash on October 10th continued into the last quarter. During that period, more than $19 billion in forced liquidations occurred, and approximately $500 billion in total cryptocurrency market capitalization was wiped out. January 3rd, Jan 3 CEO Samson Mao predicted Bitcoin could reach $1 million by the end of 2025, while Blockstream CEO Adam Beck estimated it to be $500,000 and $1 million by the end of the year. Based on ETF inflows and supply constraints, venture investor Chamath similarly offered a $500,000 estimate. However, these predictions proved to be very far-fetched. Van Eck predicted the peak of $180,000 in the first quarter. Bitwise CEO Matt Hogan expected a peak of $200,000, while Fundstrat's Tom Lee estimated the range of $200,000 to $250,000 by October. However, these figures also proved to be very high. So, guys, the point is that everybody essentially was wrong about the targets for Bitcoin and crypto in the year of 2025. Keep that in mind. All of the biggest professionals with massive teams behind them even were wrong about their projections. So there you go. Christopher, Rob, definitely a bull market with BTC breaking out of the triangle behind on-rate cuts and behind any analysis of bear market, with BTC algorithm suggesting 107K should be now. Well, there you go. There you go, brother. I like it. Skit says Glocktavius was fire. Pico and Gary, absolutely, man. Derek says, what's going on, man? Did you release the video on Monad yet? Nope, not yet. Not yet, brother. We hit a very rare indicator, which we hit 6 times in Bitcoin's history. All algorithms hits we're correct so far. Algorithm suggests a precise, $107,000, or should have been there already. Yeah, manipulation in the markets, all right. Manipulation in the markets, guys. All right, we got a couple of important clips to watch over on Squawk Box today, guys. They are two things we cover a lot on the channel. First up is market resilience, AI weakness. Let's get into it here.
Futures on the second to last day of the year are pretty steady, showing minimal declines headed for the indexes after a modest drop yesterday. Joining us now is Ross Mayfield, Baird investment strategist. Ross, good morning. So we're have a strong year. S&P up 17+% on a price basis in 2025, although kind of coasting into the close here. We're pretty much flat with levels we got to 2 months ago. A lot of rotation underneath. What's the setup for 2026?
Yeah, I think the big thing that is what you just said is that this hasn't been a sell-off or a weak market, but a rotational one, and into the kind of, in a lot of places, cyclical, real economy type stocks that people want to see participate. So I think it's really encouraging that the market has been resilient in the face of some of the AI weakness or skepticism, which I think is healthy in and of itself. You don't, in my opinion, see that in a true bubble. So I like the setup here. I think rates look well tamed. It's a global bull market. Global participation is, I think, somehow still under discussed. So I think there's a lot to like, which is, maybe the big thing to be concerned about is strategist price targets continue higher and higher. There's a lack of volatility, and I think sentiment, it runs the risk of being the thing that could knock this off in the first quarter a little bit.
Yeah, if you do look at the consensus projection among strategists relative to the S&P itself, it's definitely looks like there's a pretty big upside gap there, which in years past has sometimes meant those converge in some ways. To say it's a rotational market implies that maybe there's going to be continued shifts along the way. So if I look at the laggard type categories from this year, things like quality and value, do you think those are set to get revived or will continue to work in a cyclical way? Or is this something where we're going to go back to the AI leaders?
Well, look, I think AI leadership will probably resume. And I think if you're a broad market investor, you want that to happen. But just because the big 7, big 10 tech stocks are working doesn't mean that things underneath the surface can't be working as well. And I think it's a healthier market if things like banks and financials are participating. We've seen a nice, rebound in recent weeks from discretionary. I think, maybe not an all clear on the consumer, but certainly a little bit better than the consensus narrative. So yeah, and again, I really want to hammer the global breadth, right? It's not just been a U.S. story. It's not just been a U.S. tech story. You've seen Japan, Europe, emerging markets work. So I do think that it can continue. I think I want to keep kind of a quality tilt on. Occasionally when we dip into value, you're going down the quality scale. I think in year 4 or 5 of a bull market with rates proving fairly sticky above 4%, you still want to have a quality tilt on, which is important if you're kind of fishing in those value sectors.
Yeah, quality. I mean, just as a general characteristic, I was just looking on the S&P. Quality trades at like exactly the same as the market multiple. In other words, no premium is now being assigned to the higher quality stocks. Maybe that is a little bit of a wrinkle you could play this coming year. You say, rates kind of sticky on the longer end. Is that going to persist if we get, let's say, a couple more cuts on the short end?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we've seen a steepener lately. I think the long end of the curve is just responding to different forces than just the Fed. Now, I think in part, the market knows that the Fed is not going to be able to reasonably cut much below, a neutral rate of like 3.25, with inflation doing what it's doing and with the economy strong, with no recession really in sight here. And then on the long end, it's the same story as usual. It's fiscal concerns. It's some maybe concerns about Fed independence, given this Fed chair race we're in, and a stickier inflation environment amid broader themes of deglobalization and supply chain reshoring. That is expensive, and so I think that there's a bit of a reflation trade, a bit of inflation pressure, along with some of the usual fiscal issues or concerns that keeps the long end, maybe above 3.5 at its floor. I don't think that's a problem for equity markets until the 10-year starts pushing up towards 5% again. And we might see that in 2026. I think there's a good chance we do, in fact.
I'm excited about some of the stocks that we're getting into going into 2026, guys. Some of the narratives that we're going to be honing in on, I think, are really going to boom in 2026. So you're definitely going to want to be a part of our VIP community to get in on that stuff, guys. Did you teach Rue how to stream? No, I just kind of caught part of his stream this morning, actually, over there. Are we playing any video games this week, Rob the Legend? I don't know if I'm going to have time, to be honest with you, man. I don't know if I'm going to have time. Usually I like to play a little World of Warcraft to just kind of unwind and, let my mind just kind of wander. But, if I have time, maybe on the weekend, maybe. Chris, what's up, brother? You think we might go parabolic still in 2026? I'm still hopeful. Yes, I have made arguments for it and against it, but I do think there's a strong possibility of it, yes. And I think a lot of people are going to get caught left-footed on it, to be honest with you. A lot of people who think that, it's over, it's going to be a couple years before a bull run. I think in 2026, they're going to get caught, out of hand. They're going to be like, what the hell happened? All of a sudden, crypto's going to start running, and they're going to be like, oh, I sold everything. I'm out of the market. I haven't been paying attention, right? Going to lose out. They're going to lose out. Paul, what do you think about Taraxa? Yes, still bullish on Taraxa. Taraxa is more of a flyer play, though, right? It's a high risk, high reward layer one. I think it's a good potential ROI. I made a lot of money in Taraxa a couple of years ago when they first launched, and they're still around. So yes, I am bullish still on Taraxa, very much so. Solana draws 2.93 million in ETF inflows as traders watch 118 make or break zone. Will Solana fall below $118? I hope so. I think Solana by the bottom could probably reach somewhere around $40-50, to be honest with you. And I'm there for it, man. I'm there for it. I'm going to scoop up a lot. I'm not missing Solana at $40 again. No way, man. U.S. crypto markets closed the year with mixed ETF flows, while Solana drew fresh attention from traders watching a decisive technical zone. Data from SoSoValue showed uneven institutional positioning across major assets, even as Solana's price action hinted at possible turning point. Consequently, analysts shifted focus from fund flows to short-term structure, where Solana now faces a make-or-break test. According to SoSoValue, U.S. spot Bitcoin ETFs recorded net outflows of 19.29 million on December 29th. Not a surprise, we're seeing the outflows there, and we're seeing silver work its way up. Significantly smaller networks attracted capital. Solana spot ETFs saw net inflows of $2.93 million, while XRP spot ETFs added $8.44 million. This divergence suggests capital rotation. So we're seeing capital flow out of spot Bitcoin ETFs into stuff like silver, into stuff like spot XRP and Solana spot ETFs, which is not surprising at all. That's not new information. We've seen that since the launch of the Solana and XRP ETFs, really. Solana traded at $123, reflecting a 0.94% daily gain despite a mild weekly decline. Daily volume exceeded 3.09 billion, confirming steady market participation. With a market capitalization near $69.7 billion, Solana remained among the most attractively traded assets. Crypto Tony highlighted the importance of a $118 level, describing it as a critical support. He noted that Solana approached a point where downside risk increased if buyers failed to defend that zone. So if we lose $118 for Solana, we could see a little bit more of a leg down, is basically the long and short of it. Please consider Zebek did a 10x in May this year, while it did a drawdown 75%. Yes, I agree. Derek, what's your thoughts on Kava? I've been holding for a while now. I'm hoping it pops so I can get rid of it. Kava. I haven't looked at Kava's chart, I think, in years, to be honest with you. Let me see. I haven't looked at Kava's chart in years, my guy. Years. Yeah, oof, it's in a rather large downward channel here. Hang on, I'll bring up the chart. Un momento, por favor. Kava. Kava. Mr. Loberman. Kava. Shubba. Get it? People from the 90s who listen to Shaggy get it. Yeah, you've just kind of been like, look at that drop off. What happened here, man? What happened here? That is crazy. Crazy. Look at all the way down. Holy smokes, man. It dropped. Bottom of the wick, it dropped 92.77% in one day. Holy smokes. Then it recovered back up. It recovered another. That would have been a great time to get in because it shot back up 562% after that drawdown. Holy smokes. Talk about opportunity. Yes, I do see opportunity with Kava. I don't think it's a bad project, if I'm being honest with you. It's been around for a long time, but you are looking at a downtrend here. You'll probably will see got a little bit of a broadening channel here. Yeah, you could see more downward pressure though towards the bottom of this channel. It's entirely possible. But you seem to be holding support pretty strong at 7 cents. 7 cents 2.4, 7 cents 2.5. You're probably going to find a pretty strong level of support there. That's an all-time low too, eh? Look at that. Oof. Oof. Yeah, but eventually, even if you do see a little bit more of a drawdown, you will eventually have a breakout to the upside here, in my opinion. I think you got a 70% chance of an upside break on these kind of structures. So, yeah. Zebek is teasing us. Yes. Is Miria Zebek XTB still bullish on Rob the Legend? Yes. Yes, I am bullish on all those still. Manipulated PayFi purposely. Okay, let's continue on. What else do we have? Covered Solana. So guys, we're also seeing Michael Saylor Strategy and Tom Lee and Bitmine both bought Bitcoin and Ethereum yesterday, right? Now we're seeing Metaplanet buying more Bitcoin worth 451 million as market pressure grows. So we're seeing these institutions, they're not showing any signs of selling right now, guys. They're all still buying, right? So me personally, not financial advice, I put my pennies where they put their dollars. You do whatever you want to do, man, but I'm doing what rich people do with their money right now. I'm not sitting on the sidelines complaining that the market's not doing what I want it to do when I want it to do it. I'm a big picture person, and I see the writing on the wall here, right? So, guys, again, you are looking at an opportunity right now to front run the next 10 years of innovation, okay? And you're worried about a daily candle. Think about that for a second, okay? Really think about it. All right, so what are we talking about? Precious metals as well. Precious metals. A little bit of a story here on that.
Now, Jeremy Siegel, Professor Emeritus of Finance at the University of Pennsylvania's Wharton School of Business and Chief Economist at Wisdom Tree. And once again, it's good to see you. Happy New Year. Happy holidays, Jeremy.
Thank you, Joe.
Been a good time to be pro U.S. economy for the past year. Once again, pro stock market. We're the best economy in the world.
Third and fourth GDP numbers. I mean, we're just getting the fourth. St. Louis Fed came out with a 3% estimate 2 days before Christmas. Of course, we had that plus 4% for the third quarter. And even with a negative first quarter, that would make 2025 faster growth than the last year of the Biden administration, even with all the chaos with the tariffs.
That is the economic backdrop, obviously, but I was really referring to what 19%, 18. I don't know. We may hit 7,000 before the end of the year on the S&P. It's possible. I'm not saying we will, but the third or fourth really good year, third at least.
Yeah. And next year, I think, I know it's been predicted for a long time because the streak of the Mag 7 is really quite unprecedented. But, next year, I think S&P, which is very weighted towards, of course, the tech and Mag 7, might be less than double digits, 5 to 10, still good. Then the non-Mag 7 could be 10 to 15. With a Mag 7 finally positive, but in the low single digits. Now, of course, it's very difficult to make 1 year estimates, but that would be a turnaround certainly from the last 3 years, but still leading to a very good market in 2026. So it's, I think, a lot of good headwinds, good tailwinds pushing forward. We have bumps. We have 3 bumps in January. We have, of course, another potential government shutdown. We have the Supreme Court perhaps going to announce on what it's decided on tariffs. And we have perhaps finally the announcement from Donald Trump about who our next Fed chairman is going to be. These are very important issues to get through, in addition to what is GDP and what our earnings and what our margins. And we might all get those in January. So it might, and certainly one of them, the shutdown, has to be either solved or extended in that month. And the other 2 look like they're likely to be announced. So we need to get through some bumps, as I say. But if we can get through those successfully, it still looks like a positive year for me.
Right. A lot of times the default forecast at the beginning of the year is that 7-8% long-term average for the S&P. We hear that a lot, and usually it either does a lot more or maybe even a down year. I don't know if people ever forecast a negative year. Can't remember the last time someone did that.
A few do. I mean, when you take a real out of consensus forecast, you're either wrong or you become a hero, and you can decide.
Exactly.
Hey, I'm gonna shoot for the stars here. So we do have a few times when people do take those out of consensus forecasts.
We've had some people on say, all right, multiples stay where they are. So we're just going to purely do the S&P advance based on earnings per share growth for the next 12 months. What do you think we can do there? Double digits?
Well, I think in that case, could we get 8 to 10%? Certainly. With the Mag 7 slowing down, as we see every year, it's slower, but still in the high teens or low 20s. But we see PE compression because they're over 30. I mean, let's take Tesla's side, which is like 200. The others are, 30 for companies that are growing 20% a year, even with a decelerating growth, is not what I call a bubble. So I'm not going to predict that, it's going to last forever. I'm not going to predict there won't be disappointments of Mag 7. But I've been saying all along that those have been calling this a bubble or saying this is, 2000 have not really been looking at the facts behind the figures.
I got to agree with them there. But what I would say is, again, there is going to be a big correction through precious metals and stocks, in my opinion, in 2026. And we have already mapped out over in our VIP community where our entry points are going to be and how we're going to take advantage of these opportunities, guys. So definitely check it out. By the way, guys, we absolutely crushed a long on Bitcoin in our trading group last night. We put in a long on it up to the 30-day moving average, and we just crushed it, man. So get over to the VIP community, guys. Get in on our daily trades. Sam, good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. Holy hell, finally caught a live stream. When a move happens, and it will, I don't care. God knows when ZBEC will hit 20 cents. Yes, I agree with you. 20 cents is, for me, very, very conservative for ZBEC in the big picture, man. I've been scooping up Jasmine for a week or so now. Almost doubled my bag since it went below my DCA. If I'm in the red, I might as well lower my cost average. There you go. I agree, man. I agree. Do you think we'll ever hit 40 cents again? Are you talking about Jasmine, Derek? Eventually. Yes, I do. Eventually, if you're talking about Jasmine. So yeah, guys, listen, that's the news. That's a wrap right there. This concludes our broadcast day. I got to get over to the Patreon. I got some live coaching calls to do over there. Get over there, book your coaching calls today. You can book your one-on-ones or join a group coaching call. Get in on our daily trades. Kava, yes, I do believe Kava will hit 40 cents again. Yes, I think we'll see a climb in it. It's going to break out to the upside. It's like 7 cents now. It's not that far of a climb. So yes, jump over there, guys. Again, take advantage of all of our courses, everything for free. Check it out. The link is in the chat. It's in the pinned comments. It's in the description, guys. Take advantage. Join the community today. It's less than the price of a cup of coffee. Get educated today, guys. Front run these markets before things get good. This is where millionaires are made right now, not later when things are pumping, okay? So check it out today. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. I'll see you in the next one. God bless.